every interaction we have with anyone is a reflection of us.
Yes.
So it's so, in our home, especially now with what's going on in the world, it's our sanctuary. Over time, I realized that you can get certain results if you just, if you clear the clutter or you clear the energy. And then if your mindset isn't right, it comes back in. And the same with your body. You can be sick, because I got quite poorly. But if you don't clear the clutter, which happened when I went to Hippocrates, and just clear out and have a cleanse, this stuff comes back. So it's a triad of treatments that I work with my clients and my coaching clients, and bring it all together,
Yes, because I know sometimes what happens is, if it's not all together, they might go one place here for a little bit, and then a few months later they think, well, wait, my house feels good, but my body is not good. And I love that you have all of these in one cohesive way that you work with people. And do you think, let's say I was going to start next week, do you have a place that's the first entry point? Like, do you think it's best to start with clutter or mindset or your body, or does it matter?
No, everyone, as you know, is unique, and we work that out through our coaching. I'm client focused, so as I'm sure you are, and I'll just see what unfolds in the session, what the outcomes are, and what level they're at with the different areas. And then there's a 12-week program to just move through, like you said in the other reading, like the hills, maybe ups and downs, with my client, and I hold space and hold them in a vision of love. And it's that whole thing of their future self. That's what we do first, really, is what it is they want, what they see, what they feel, what they hear. And then my job then is to use those other modalities to get them, because there's so much we can do, especially with, not just with the mind, but with the Feng Shui and the little skills that I've got from that of when I say anchoring, do you know what I mean?
Yes, but you can define it anyway, because I always like to hear other people use words to solidify, and you might open my mind up in a new way with anchoring.
Okay, so the anchoring thing is almost like that trigger word, which is really popular at the moment. But you can, as you know, the unseen world, everything is there. It's just bringing it in, and the more visual, the more we talk to ourselves, the more we feel it, the more we really, how can I say, just I'm so kinesthetic, as you can see. I'm like, so I work through that to really build that vision, because the veil is so thin now in our world right now. So things, with the power of the spoken words, we've got to be so careful, because I don't know if you've noticed, and your friends, that it happens really quick. So my job is to work out the best way to bring that vision in, to pull it down, so they do feel, hear, and see it.
That's so good. And the benefits of that, this holistic transformation that you help support people with, is amazing too. I have a question. I don't know if this is too specific, but so I told you a little bit before we started recording of, I have small children, and I'm trying to clear out a lot of our clutter, even though we don't have a lot based on other places I've seen or what I hear or can imagine. However, with them, we get into this place of, and we're all very creative in my home. So I have a struggle between, how do we find a way to still be creative, but not be overwhelmed with tripping over things or having too much in our space. But maybe it's more of a reframe that I need to do. I don't really know. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that in this moment.
So what I heard you saying was, then it's the struggle, because you're also creative, and it sounds to me, I could be wrong, you don't want to block that creativity, you want that to be open, but you kind of want a little bit of, dare I say, organization or something going on with. How old are your children, if I may ask?
3 and 8. And my 8-year-old, they're both artistic, but because she's older, it's a little bit more developed. And now she has different types of art that she likes to do. And we have, in my opinion, a big enough house that there's space for things, but it feels, and maybe I just need to buy a few tackle boxes. That's what I call them, like an organizational bin where we keep the things. I don't know, but
where do they? There's 2 things I'm going to ask you. One is where does all the creativity happen first? Where does it happen?
There's 3 places or 4. Maybe we have too many places. So where I'm recording right now is my office, but we also call it the art room. There's a table where we do art. There's the kitchen table. There's outside, we have a table. That's where we do art if we're going to get like a cardboard box that we're decorating. So we'll put it on the floor. And then she does art some in her own room too. So as I'm saying this out loud, I'm feeling like maybe that's part of it, is that it's spread out everywhere, and it might be better if it's just one or two places, not anywhere in the house.
That sounds really good. That sounds really good. That was the one thing. So you've answered that question, which I think is amazing. The second one, when I do the clutter clearing courses, I'm going to give you something. I've got a little gift. It's a download.
I'll put it for the people listening that they can.
Oh,
you can give me a link. Yes, of course.
Yeah, the clutter clearing. So yeah, you answered your own question about having a place, but in the challenge that I do, everything has a home. You know, and I don't know whether you allow your kids to watch Disney, because there's so much controversy about it at the moment, but there's one of them, Beauty and the Beast, and everything has a personality. There's the clock. Have you ever watched it?
Yes.
So
and they have too, but it's been a little while.
Okay, so everything has a personality, everything has a voice. So everything you have in your home, remember I said there's 200 to 300,000 things in your home, the average home. And when I asked you before to think of something, you could tell me the story. So everything's there with a story. So when I go into someone's home, it's like, and I sense it, whatever, there's a story behind it. There's an emotion behind it. And we, you know, as a clearer, you can feel that, but you can feel that.
Yes.
When you get really conscious of it, because we're so used to just looking at scanning and all these things, you know, but actually in the background, there's all these stories going on. So what we want to do is lift your energy, that the only things you look at have a good story.
Yeah.
Because the things you don't have a good story, and not necessarily a good story as in where they came from, but if for you it's feeling, I don't know whether I'm using perhaps I'm using too deep a word, a bit of overwhelmed, because you want your kids to be creative, but you actually want a little bit of order. So that's a story in itself. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. And this is fabulous. I love it. I have a YouTube video that I'll link below that is about having 5 things that make you feel good that you see every day, and that helping with your manifesting. And I feel it ties in perfectly. So I believe what you say and think that that's good, because I think we could change both literally the story we're saying about we're so creative, but it's all over the place, that we can change that story, and the things that we look at are the ones with the good stories and that make us feel good.
And everything has a home, so it goes away. You know, that's the thing, it goes away. And one thing I used to do with my kids, and it's gone Christmas now, but anytime before birthdays or before Christmas, we used to clear out the old to make way for the new.
Yes.
So until, you know, whatever was coming at Christmas, we'd make sure we gave it away to charity, or they sold it even to get a bit of pocket money. You know, I don't know where you're at with the work, but maybe, you know, they could have a little, I don't know, a little web page. You could sell some of the artwork. You know, just like, you know, so it's going somewhere. Do it as gifts or something on Etsy, but it's going somewhere else for the news to create more, because it's like that cup of water, isn't it? That glass of water. If we're just pouring, it's just overflowing. So we need to empty it.
Yeah.
And we just need to cycle with that. And if you work with your kids and make it fun with them, then you're just gonna set them up for life with those skills, you know. And it's not you being like, oh, we're gonna do this. It's like, hey guys, you know what? Let's just have one special place, or 2 maybe.
Yes.
Of the 4.
Right.
And everything has a home, and we're just gonna place it there. And at the end of the day, you know, it's just bringing that fun in. And there's one other thing. Sorry, you can tell I'm so passionate about this.
That's great. I can take it.
There's one other thing as well. And there's 2 actually. You mentioned about the 5 things. I'll say that in a minute, but what I usually say to people is have a little alarm clock for 15 minutes, you know, and just choose one section of that area, and just do 15 minutes, put the buzzer on. And if you want to do it on your own, just put a thing on the door saying, listen guys, I'm busy right now for 15 minutes, that's it, and I'm clearing this. So it's not one massive project. It's just 15 minutes. And if you did 15 minutes every day, or 2 lots of 15 minutes every day, then that's going to make massive, because it's the micro not the big things. It really, really is, to keep it small. And then the vision boards, I absolutely love. I do vision board workshops as well, so creating that and where to put in, you know, which areas to put. Anyway, that's another subject for another day, but I'm just so passionate, and I hope that helped you in some way.
Oh, it helped amazingly, because already 2 things that I know. My 8-year-old is going to be all about selling her things that she doesn't want to make money, because she's getting that taste of, oh, I can do this, and then I have my own money to spend on Legos or whatever else she wants. Different times she buys different things, but she's going to love that aspect of it. And her little brother will go along with it too. I hadn't thought about doing an Etsy shop for her artwork, but they both produce so much artwork. I certainly could do that.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, when I was a kid, things were pretty tough. I used to have a little stall outside my house.
Yeah.
My friend Carla, we used to have a little stall, and we just used to have it in the street, and just
Oh my gosh, I love it.
People used to just buy things off us because we were like, oh.
That's so good. Oh, cool. Yeah, I know it is easier for kids now to just.
Yeah, you've got the internet, they've got they've got everything, and it's that entrepreneurial spirit. You're showing them another skill really early on in life, and it's that whole thing. We live in a world of excess. Well, let's get, or some of it can go to a children's hospital, even to say, look, if there's a local children's hospital, let's give some joy from your beautiful creations, and let's donate that so these kids are looking at something bright and cheerful.
Yes,
just a couple of little things.
That is fabulous. And to me, it's an act of self-love to have an environment that supports us.
Oh, because, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure, as you know, if we are doing actions of self-love, but the environment doesn't support it, it's like you said about this triad. Eventually, it's going to be too hard to keep on doing whatever it is that you're aiming towards for this future self if the environment can't support it. And with too many items, it's a lot more work day in, day out of caring for all of these items. And like you said, the unconscious, I hadn't thought about that and how you shared it of, yes, this pen, I can think of where I bought it and I know where it's stored. And this mug, well, I don't remember where I got it, but I know where I keep it. But I could do that for all of the things in the house. And no wonder most people are overwhelmed because of the magnitude of stuff that is just filling our homes and not really bringing us. Yeah.
Even that cup that you said, I can't think of it now, but I bet you in a couple of days, if you start thinking about it, you have to go back in the files, but you'll find it. You'll remember where it came from, you will. It's just right back in the files,
Yes.
So it's so important. And just to recap on your self-love for your subject there, when you get the download, there's sections of different areas in the house. So the bathroom, that's the place for self-love. That's the place. And when you start clearing or just beautifying or just is putting your energy into it, that's a reflection of putting your energy into you, because that's where you bathe, that's your time, so the home is just an envelope of who you are. And then when you start sectioning out these different areas in your home and what the meaning behind them and how the reflection, because as you know, every interaction we have with anyone is a reflection of us.
Yes.
So it's so, in our home, especially now, it's what's going on in the world. It's our sanctuary. It's our safe place.
Yes.
And all those thoughts going out in it. That's the thing of clearing the energy as well. It's, it's an envelope.
Right. Exactly.
I'm so passionate about.
I love that you're so passionate, and it's affirming for me. Well, one, for years, I have felt my home is my sanctuary because I'm a highly sensitive person and somewhat of an introvert. So when I leave the world of people, I want my home to feel good because that's where I'm recharging and resting and restoring. And what you said about the bathroom, I love too. Our last home that my husband and I had, it was a fixer-upper. And the bathroom, I told him when we started working on it, I said, we have to do the bathroom first. To me, a lot of people, the home centers around the kitchen, and I think that's great. But for me, the bathroom has to make me feel good, or the rest of the house doesn't even matter. And so I love what you were saying. And maybe that's because self-love is such a big value of mine. Our bathroom is one of the nicest rooms in the house in terms of very little clutter. Everything makes us feel good. So I can just let that ripple out to the other rooms.
That's it. See, you're intuitive. See, it's that thing, isn't it? We've got the oxygen mask on the plane. You know, we have to give it to ourselves. And if you, like you just said, where in your other homes, the bathroom's been the place you knew intuitively, like, oh
Yes,
my God, I need
exactly.
to recharge. That's where so there's so many things we can do to anchor all this stuff in and trigger where it is we want to go and help these visions, because we have to keep the visions of what it is we want, that future self. It's so important. And as you say, self-care is the most important thing in the world. That's who we're really responsible for, is ourselves first, and then we can give to others.
That's very true. Well, I hope everyone listening, this was good self-care of absorbing love and new ways of practicing self-love and self-care. Nadine, thank you so much for sharing your enthusiasm, your excitement.